Hello, Internet. We're back. Happy Valentine's Day. And welcome, as always, to the Video Store Clerks Podcast. As you can see, we have a very special guest with us tonight.
Where?
Join us in welcoming our friend and neighbor. You can check them out every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Tales from the Podcast and visit his website, I'mUncleRon.com. He is the Internet's favorite uncle. Uncle Ron, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, Ron.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, got to have that applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. I'm here to amaze and delight and not be able to quote some of my favorite lines from the movie.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah.
And that is because tonight we'll be talking about the 1993 classic, True Romance. Looking forward to it. As always, we are your clerks. I'm Dave.
Chadman. Mike.
Chuck.
Bam!
I love a delay on that, Chuck. Just relax, Hogan. Relax, Hulk Hogan.
Right.
So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We missed you guys. We're so happy to be back, but we will start the program as we always do with the news.
Hey, honey.
All right, so I've got my trusty stopwatch, and here they come down the hill. It looks like Ruben is in the lead, and here comes Al. That was a bad idea.
As long as it was a full-on flip.
Riverside Park, Rob Left, Global News.
You okay, man? No, I think I broke my shit.
I gave it a 7.
Tonight's news, we have some sad news, some bad news, some uplifting news, and news that just kind of makes you shake your head and ask why. So let's get right into it, starting with the box office. It was a disastrous weekend at the box office as the top movie only brought in $6 million, and that was Argyle.
Really?
Lisa Frankenstein came in at number 2. It debuted with only $3 million. Ouch. I thought a lot more people would go see it. A lot of posts on social media I saw.
It looks kind of fun. I mean, the trailer looked all right.
I mean, isn't it Zelda Williams did it? Robin Williams' daughter?
Yeah.
I want to check it out. It's just I don't go to the movies that much anymore unless it's a big tentpole thing that I want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, only the big movies I go see anymore.
I mean, the ones that you really absolutely have to see in a theater. You know, like I'm gonna go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, even though I shouldn't because it doesn't. I don't
It's
think it's
definitely a theater movie.
Yeah, but like Lisa Frankenstein's something that you can just get on VOD and you know,
it'll probably be on Peacock before too long.
No shit. I know, like in 6 days, Oppenheimer's on Peacock, which is weird. I thought it would be on Max, but
yeah, me too.
But it's such a I don't know if you guys talked about that one, but holy crap, that movie blew my mind.
I never saw it yet.
No, it's really good.
I heard it was good. Yeah,
a lot of white boys in that movie.
Yeah,
it was White Boy Day in that movie.
Must be White Boy Day. slow start to 2024. Not a lot of stuff that's been jumping out at me that I really want to see. I think we were just talking about this the other day, Chad. How like the first thing coming up is like Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's the only
I'm
time.
actually excited with that, though. I'm actually excited about that.
Yeah.
Well, the end of March.
One, though.
I went to the theater on a Tuesday with my dad. He's a senior, and we went and saw The Beekeeper. And it was nice. It was nice to see John Wick with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's all it was.
Yeah, and The Beekeeper, speaking of, came in at number 3.
Oh Jesus!
Segue.
That was perfect.
Thing's been out for like a month.
And then we were just talking about the other day. They released the trailer for Monkey Man, the Dev Patel movie that's coming out, and that looks like another John Wick ripoff. So,
Monkey Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like when you were younger and your mom would be like, "Who's my little monkey man?" It's like, "Oh yeah,
No.
what movie?"
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, number 4, Wonka is still hanging in there. It's
Hanging
probably
around.
done the best out of the bunch. Migration is hanging in there at number 5. The Chosen, season 4, episodes 1 through 3, came in at number 6. I had to look this one up because I didn't know what it was neither. It's a story about Jesus. So church groups.
Oh,
Never mind.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how I
Moving
didn't know
on.
about that. You know, I'm so up with the.
Yeah.
No.
Who needs to go fund me?
There's no reason for me to know what it is.
Number 7, still hanging in there, is Anyone But You. All right. I don't know.
It's
What-
a rom-com.
Garbage.
What's her name? Sweeney?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hot garbage.
The Mean Girls remake dropped to number 8.
Oh, it's
American
actually a
Fiction.
musical. That's a musical.
Ah.
Oh,
Why
is it
would
a
you-
musical now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
musical.
okay. So I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, I actually like the other Mean Girls movie. I thought it was actually kind of funny.
I've never seen it.
Like,
funny.
it's just a fun movie, whatever. But when I found out that
Two
they
Medals was
remade
great.
it, when I found out they remade it, and then it was like a fucking musical, I'm like, out of all the fucking movies, Mean Girls. Like, I hate musicals. I really am not a fan of musicals.
I'm with you on that. I do not like musicals.
No, and I don't know. Like, who was the one that was like, I'm gonna write songs for this?
The only musical I really like is Cannibal the Musical.
That one's good. I like
Yeah.
Rocky Horror. I liked it more before I saw it 1,000 times.
Well, and that's the thing is I'm a huge fan of Darren
Sweeney
Lynn
Todd.
Bousman, but I hate Repo. Like, because
Well,
it's fucking singing and shit. And that Wonka movie, I actually know people who went to see it and they walked out halfway through because they were like, "This is a piece of shit."
Wow.
Yeah,
damn. Good to know.
because nobody
I'll
cares
wait
about a
till- I'll
Willy
wait till it
Wonka
comes
prequel.
No.
No.
My kid's
I
kind
know,
of
anyway.
my kid's kind of excited about it. So
But that's your kid, though. That's a kid. But the people with the
Yeah.
money give a shit.
no, like yeah, I'm gonna watch it just to watch with him. It doesn't really, you know.
I think it's geared towards a younger audience. You know,
Yeah.
our generation already has our Gene Wilder flavor. We've been already put off by
True.
Johnny Depp, so it's
Ugh.
like, you know, it's not for us.
Mhm.
Everything in this room is edible, even me. But that's the only part of that movie I thought was funny. I cracked up laughing. Everything else, I was like, I could go to sleep. I was like,
I
a
saw
cannibal
the-
joke, I'm all in.
I saw the Johnny Depp one in the theater for some reason. I forget why, but
Yeah, me too.
it was just like I'm like, what the fuck is this? I mean, oh, Christopher Lee. Oh, it's just that. Okay,
And I was stone cold sober too, and I regret that decision.
you sorry son of a bitch.
Saw it in theaters too. I mean, it could have been a great experience. Probably a much better movie. But moving on.
And number
Oh, my
9
dad
was
was-
American Fiction, and number 10 finally was Poor Things, still hanging in there. I kind of want to see that actually.
I hear it's very Frankenhooker, so that's right up all of our alleys, I think. And American Fiction, I've seen because I like to watch all of the nominations, the Best Picture nominees. It is so fucking good.
I want to see it.
It's not. There's no explosions or mutilations or anything, but it's just so. It's really dark humor. You know, and it's just, and Jeffrey Wright, you know, coming off of his portrayal of Gordon and the Batman, so good, so good.
I'm a sucker for movies about writers and shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's such a great story about how white people view African American books and stories that it's just so good. Which is funny because tonight's movie. No, I'm just kidding. But
What a segue.
right?
And our sad news, Carl Weathers, man,
Yeah, man.
just out of nowhere. I mean, I know he was 76, but he was always in like tip-top shape. And, you know, because I followed him on Twitter, and he was really active on there, and it just seemed to come out of nowhere. But
Did they
Yeah.
ever reveal what it was?
no, not that I know of.
Because I know makes me scared. My dad's 77. And by the way, my dad got blazed as fuck before The Beekeeper.
Nice.
I had to drive to the theater because he was too busy. He was too busy lighting up. Go Dad.
Go Dad.
Only been smoking
Cardiovascular.
since he was 16.
Okay.
Were we still talking
It was
about
what?
Carl Weathers?
Cardiovascular disease. Yes.
Oh,
What was
Yeah.
it?
Carl Weather.
Cardiovascular
God damn it.
heart disease.
Oh, let's move on to our feel good story.
Oh, real quick before we do that, also I have something else said actually. Justin Wallace, he was the singer for the band Handsome Prick. He actually was on my podcast, Nasty Nation. He was killed in a car accident yesterday on his way to work, and he was a really cool guy and one hell of a vocalist. And he had a podcast too, Juice some wrestling. I is a long title, but he was a good dude. I just feel like it needed a shout out as well.
Yeah, for sure. Still sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, moving on to the feel good news. The grandson of legendary wrestler, the late Brian Pillman, Boom Swollen is his name, 14 years old, and he stepped in to prevent a planned school shooting at his school in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Did he hit somebody with a DDT or?
Nope, but he overheard a plan from another student. The other student already had the weapons, already had a detailed plan it was probably going to take place that week. And the kid called his dad on the phone and told him about it, and his dad called the authorities.
Nice.
Well, I don't
Now,
know if
is
that's
that-
so much a really feel good story, but I mean that's a good thing they got stopped. That's
Probably it's feel-good as a
terrifying as a parent.
Yeah.
Well, my question is was it because Pillman had a daughter and a son, and the son's wrestling still, but so it must have been the daughter's kid
It must be from her. I think so.
because his last name would be Pillman
King
otherwise.
said he's his nephew.
Okay, yeah,
So-
all right. Then yeah, that makes sense.
In remakes and reboots that nobody asked for news, David Fincher's thriller The Game, which came out in 97, I think, it's being adapted into a television series.
Is he
The Game.
involved at all?
With Michael Douglas.
Yeah. If he's not involved, I have no fucking interest.
Nobody's probably involved.
But that same movie though with Michael
Yeah.
Douglas.
Yeah, with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn.
Sean Penn.
Yep.
Wow, I just
I
now
think we were
actually
just
watched that
talking
a
about
couple of
when
years
we were on
ago.
here.
I think
when we did Fight Club, we brought it up.
Yeah.
I'm a big Fincher mark.
Me too.
I'm a mark for David Fincher. I'm a mark for CM Punk, and that's all you get from me.
There you go.
But exactly. And what's funny is I actually am straight edge. So
That's who inspired my new haircut.
there you go. It inspired me to hurt my arm, but it's one of those situations where with him, I always give him the benefit of the doubt. So when something he does is bad, I get really let down because I go in so high. Like The Killer with Fassbender. Have you seen that yet?
I still haven't seen it.
That's really good. It's
It is
really good. Yeah, a lot of references to the Smiths though, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I'll take it.
And another one on the way, Alfred Hitchcock's classic Rear Window, will also be turned into a TV show for reasons.
Why?
I don't. How do you make that into a series?
Reasons unknown.
I thought you suddenly turned German. Rear Window.
Like, Chad, will you kickstart him again? I think he's bugging out over here.
Oh, I got the glasses on. I don't know what the problem is.
Well, it almost like you're going to say a porno.
I'm not going through any more of this.
Guten
It's just
Tagen.
Warner Brothers has signed on with with Tim Burton to remake The Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Starring
We could
Taylor
probably thank
Swift.
Barbie for that.
Wait a minute, Dave. I thought you had some feel good news. What's going
That's
on
what I
here?
was wondering.
I kind of thought that
I mean, it's better than the other news, I guess.
the
but-
Pillman thing, but I guess that's the best I got. I don't want to do the news no more, man.
Feel good news. Clerks are back in town.
The Clerks are back in town.
And it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, here's
not
one.
quite,
Here's
but
one. Here's one.
Almost.
Oh, he found something.
Here's one, and we'll end with this. Art has imitated life, ladies and gentlemen, as Christian Bale. You might remember the end of The Dark Knight Rises. He opened the orphanage for displaced youth or whatever. I don't think that's how they put it, but he has done that in real life.
Oh, no shit.
It's an estimated $22 million project that features a 7,000 square foot community center, 12 homes and 2 transitional studio apartments, which will help siblings in foster care remain together.
Oh, that's good. Good for him. Good for Batman.
That's feel good news. Yeah. Hey, where's that applause? Where's that applause?
I thought you were gonna bring up the fact that he's gonna be Frankenstein.
He's doing that crazy shit again, where he's like altering his body with whatever crazy diet he always does that he said he wasn't going to do anymore because
that's why Tom Hanks won't do it anymore. He got diabetes from that shit.
Oh, God.
Gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. Yeah, your body doesn't like that after a while.
I'm a fan of Christian Bale, so just be careful. It comes from a place of concern.
Right. So Bale's playing Frankenstein. Is Ryan Gosling still the Wolfman?
I'm not sure.
Did he get cast as the Wolfman? Really? He's too good looking.
Right, Mike, the monster.
Yeah, the monster.
That came out wrong.
Well, if you keep talking like that, something else might come on you.
We need a cricket sound effect.
Right.
I think Ryan Gosling's best performance isn't even Drive. It's The Nice Guys.
No, he dropped out of Wolfman.
Oh, did he?
Did he?
Christopher Abbott is taking the spot.
Don't even fucking know who that is.
Christopher Rabbit?
Yes.
Abbott. Not
Abbott. It kind of, on my end, it kind of like did this like thing. So when you said it said Christopher Rabbit, and I was like, is that a real person?
Okay. Jessica Rabbit's cousin?
Christopher
Robin. Jessica Rabbit. How you doing?
What's good? Where's our Jessica Rabbit movie? Okay, if you're gonna give us stupid shit, might as well give us.
Can we get live action?
Yeah.
Sure.
You know who you get here? I'll cast it right now. You get Christina Hendricks to play Jessica Rabbit. My dick's already hard.
Hey.
Heyo.
Hey, I'm
toning
it down.
Our main event.
Yes.
There is no segue to that.
The main event: Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Oof.
Maybe.
Speaking of cock, tonight movie.
We'll see.
Oh, let's not get into that whole bullshit. Fucking Rock.
It's good.
Suck a TKO. Fuck you.
Oh, let's go on to
TKO up your
True
ass
before we go down that rabbit hole.
with your fucking McNuggets.
I'll have to change the thumbnail to the fucking episode because we'll go into a whole new direction. So let's go on to our Valentine's movie for this year, 1993's True Romance. It's the first time I've seen this movie in a long time. I rented it when it first came out on video, and I think that was the last time I saw it. So when I went back to watch it, it was kind of like the first time I saw it again, which is cool. And I just wanted to acknowledge, listen to this cast: Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman, my favorite, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, my man, Bronson Pinchot, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Rappaport, sorry, Mike, Chris Penn, Tom Sizemore, directed by Tony Scott, written by Quentin Tarantino, with music by Hans Zimmer. Avengers Assemble. God damn.
Yeah, it's star-studded.
I love all those actors except for one. There's only one character in the movie that made me, every time he's on screen, I just wanted to rip my eyeballs out.
Who? Was
Michael
the guy
Rappaport.
from Frasier?
No.
Oh, okay.
Michael Rappaport. Yeah, no, he annoys the shit out of me. And then
I'm with Ron on this one. I can only take so much of that guy.
And not only that, but I'm a big Howard Stern fan. And he's been calling in a lot because of the football pool bullshit, and just hearing him bitch at people. It's like, dude, you're a fucking a working actor. You're bitching about a football pool with a bunch of producers for a radio show.
Yeah.
I mean, shut the fuck up. Then he shows up on The Simpsons. I'm like, no, not my baby.
He seems like he is kind of everywhere.
Yeah, like a fucking rash.
It's like TMZ didn't him like have like a deal. I see
Maybe.
a lot of TMZ videos with him. He's always walking down the street and he's like, oh, hey.
Yeah, that's his career now, just getting covered on TMZ. Yeah. Him and Harvey, what's his name, are like fucking or something. I don't know.
Oh,
there you go. That's Video Store Clerks breaking news right there.
Ugh.
At all.
Shit.
His Michael Rappaport's ass hair isn't red just because he's a ginger.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Our legal team is
Yes, right.
It's scrambling.
Yes. Chuck, you knew what you were in for when you asked me to come on. You knew what you were in for.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
We're a small channel. Nobody pays attention to us.
Oh, they will.
We don't answer to nobody. But no, my favorite was Gary Oldman as Drexel. My God, man. It's motherfucker you would not want to walk by in a dark alley. But he's in it for what, maybe 10 minutes?
Maybe. But you might get egg rolls from him.
Right.
But he's very he seems like the kind of person who immerses himself in characters. But the funny thing is, if you watch the behind the scenes interviews, when he's being interviewed, he's still dressed like Drexel and he's speaking with his British accent, and it's just so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And it is White Boy Day.
Yeah, no, actually, it was kind of funny because, like, I had seen a bunch of his movies before I saw this. So, and I didn't realize that he was in it when I saw this. So it was kind of interesting when he popped up on screen playing how he was playing. I don't know how to describe it without being offensive. So just how he's being on the movie. White Jamaican. We're just going to say that. But like, I was just kind of like, whoa, this guy can completely, like, he can play anything.
I mean, Drexel was ahead of his time. I mean, this is a white man that identifies as a black man.
True.
Well, in 4 months, you're going to be working in the car.
And that's exactly how it was pitched to Oldman. He was like, "You're going to be a white guy who thinks he's black," and
the whole time he's eating Chinese food.
Yeah.
In every scene.
Now, that's
is he a Jewish black guy who's white? Okay.
Hello, Melissa.
And it's Christmas because he can't eat.
Hello. Welcome.
But it's almost like he took it as a challenge. It's like, you're only going to give me 10 minutes of screen time. Well, I'm going to make sure you never forget it.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, like I was saying before we got on here, like, two of my favorite roles, like one, he's one of my favorite actors, just because he really can play anything. But like two of my favorite roles that he has played have been his grimiest, two of his grimiest, and it's this one and old dude in The Professional. Just like he plays a really nice guy, great,
and not the development,
and he. Well, I mean, like, it just shows he can do anything, you know. It's not one of my favorites, but I'm not really a sci-fi guy anyway. And Chris Tucker in that movie makes me want to fucking kill someone.
I'll give you that.
He makes me. I can't stand that guy anyway. But yeah, no. But he can play a nice guy, or he can play just complete scumbags. And his scumbags are great.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, he's great as Commissioner Gordon.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, the ground.
Because I was like, I think we're the only ones that are going to find this funny, but
she texted me and was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Here's the funny thing: it got me too.
You're like, wait a minute,
because I turned it on and I was like, live. Are you supposed to? Yeah. And then it took me a second. I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, because it's Groundhog Day.
That's how we got him with AI. We didn't even tell him. We're just like,
oh no. It's like, what's going on here?
But now Gary Oldman even said two of his favorite roles that he's ever had was this one as Drexel, and then as in Bram Stoker's Dracula. So, even though it's such a small supporting role, it holds so much weight in the film and to the actor himself. Yeah. And that's what, Tarantino, obviously his screenplay and everything like that, that he's a master of making the supporting cast stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you have contact lens that he used in Dracula.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, Tarantino's such a good writer. I mean, god damn.
Kind of wish he would have just stuck with that, though. But I have my own thoughts on Tarantino, especially when it comes to like Django. I think there's a whole section that could be cut out, and it would have made the movie flow better. But didn't his editor die or something that he normally uses? Or something, I forget what it was, and then that's probably why his movies are ridiculously long and unbearable now. Like Hateful Eight, I can't. No. Hateful Ron. If I want to watch him play, I'll go to the fucking Playhouse.
He sold the script, and that's what funded Reservoir Dogs. I saw somewhere.
Yeah, it's true.
He just his stories from back in the day, like there's two different sides, like. Of Quentin Tarantino's movies. Like you have like his anything that he did at the first half of his career, you know, whether it was just writing or in directing or just writing, whatever, like it was all kind of grimy, you know, like grimy feeling. Like it was all just kind of like ridiculous. Like, I mean, he's always been ridiculous, but like the characters are a little bit more like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, splatterpunk, you know, and that term or whatever, you know, a little bit more extreme on all ends.
And that's why you like early Tarantino.
Like, you know, you can't, it really is. I mean, like, you know, like even like the characters in this one, you know, with Gary Oldman's character and, you know, Christopher Walken's like whole thing in that, and like, Pulp Fiction, that movie entirely, you know what I mean? Like, but then you have like the other half where it got a little more serious. He still had his humor and still had his way about him, and you could still tell it was a Tarantino movie, or involved in some way. But it kind of lost. It kind of lost something that I really enjoyed about Tarantino movies. I still like quite a few of them, but you know, the first few that he had some name in or whatever, or I think are the best.
My only issue with Tarantino is that he is the only reason that the director I hate the most has a career.
Who's that?
What director?
Eli Roth.
Oh.
I hate that frat boy douchebag.
You know, I was trying to figure out if I like that guy. And honestly, like, he hasn't really, the only thing he's made that's been that great is like, in my opinion, is like, well, that I like Cabin Fever. I like Cabin Fever a lot. And
I like Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. I like that a lot, actually.
I have no opinion because I haven't seen it and I won't watch it.
It's a fun one. You know, whatever. It's
for my money, the only Thanksgiving horror film is Blood Harvest. That's not cranberry sauce.
Well, I mean, you know, until you see the movie, I mean, whatever. But like, you know, Eli, he's just one of those directors that, like, you know, it's like I don't really hate him, but I don't really love him either. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would much rather watch a Zack Snyder marathon than an Eli Roth marathon.
I wouldn't argue that.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Nah.
Although that Snyder cut for Justice League drove me fucking absolutely crazy.
No, I take it back. I think I would watch an Eli Roth like marathon over.
You know what? Just put a fucking bullet in my head.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about all that Marvel shit. God damn it! I don't care about any of that shit. Anyway, back to the fucking movie.
Well, getting back to what you were saying, Chuck, how you felt like something was missing or changed along the way. A lot of people speculate is because him and Tarantino and Roger Avery were pretty much a duo back in the video archives days that, you know, all this spawned from. They wrote a screenplay called The Open Road, which was like 500 pages long. And True Romance, Natural Born Killers, and Pulp Fiction are all from that screenplay. It was all taken from that big giant screenplay because they broke it down into smaller portions. And in True Romance, if you go to the Open Road screenplay, while Alabama and Clarence are on the run, he's actually writing a screenplay while they're on the run. And the screenplay he's writing, it's like a film within a film. So the screenplay he's writing while they're on the run ends up being Natural Born Killers. So that's how it was originally drawn up. And they just kind of took those things and separated them and made two different screenplays to sell off to, you know, fund Reservoir Dogs and then eventually get the money and everything for Pulp Fiction.
And the whole third act of The Open Road is Pete.
But all of that was spawned from this. So if you
they all have the same feel to them.
Yeah, if you feel that feel of all these films are kind of connected in some way, it's because they all originated from that screenplay.
Well, didn't he also do like a short called like My Birthday Party or some shit that was supposed to be
my best friend's birthday? That was just a film. That was like his starting try it film, you know, directing and everything like that. So that was
he did have the best segment in 4 Rooms though.
Yeah.
So
that's a good movie.
It's okay.
Oh, I should say, by the way, like I saw the Tarantino cut. I know the endings were different with the original theatrical release and the Tarantino cut. What happened in the original?
They survived.
They lived.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
he
got an
didn't
eye
get
patch
eaten
now.
And they have a kid.
Yeah.
It's
You
basically
actually
the same
seen kid.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
name's Elvin,
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
and it's actually Patricia Arquette's real son.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that the? Is that the only difference? Just the endings?
Yep.
And maybe they might have moved some things around. I know Tarantino didn't like the structure, how he wanted it structured a certain way. I can't remember if Scott moved some things around or whatever. But, as much
Well, when you
as
sell a script, you have no say afterwards.
true, but he was very pleased because Scott ended up pretty much sticking to everything that he had written for the most part. There were just little things here and there. And as you mentioned, Dave, there are two different endings. Tarantino fought to try to get his ending, and he felt like Scott was trying to go kind of commercial with the fairy tale ending. And Scott said, I'm not doing it for commercial reasons. I love these two characters, and I want to see them get away and live happily ever after. And that was his motivation behind it. In his credit, he filmed both endings and said, look, I'll do both endings and we'll take a look at it. And ultimately decided to go with that fairy tale ending. And Tarantino has stated, that he thought he made the right choice by going with the fairy tale ending. So he has no heat towards Tony Scott at all. And he's very pleased. He said he didn't really veer off the path too much with his script at all, as opposed to with Natural Born Killers, where Oliver Stone took it and just completely rewrote it, and he hates it. So two different experiences, but he's very happy with True Romance. He says it's one of his favorite films.
Nice. Yeah, Tony Scott was a really good choice.
I think Tony's way more like visual than his brother.
Yeah.
Basically, because I just want to shit on Prometheus. That's all.
Like just like the way this thing's written and like built up to, like you can actually see like someone like him just having all this stuff happen, or like how they just fell in love so quick. Like, they hired the call girl for him just because he's so lonely. He doesn't do anything. He just hangs out by himself, watching movies by himself on his birthday, and then just hanging out at the place he works at. So, you can definitely see that kind of shit actually happen. Yeah. But, I don't know about the whole call girl
more now
thing
these days.
dude, but
like it's kind of weird because that is kind of more of a normal, like minus maybe the hooker thing. But like I feel like a lot of people these days would just immediately fall in love. And
it's just funny because whenever she like tells him like, I'm a call girl, he's like, you're a whore? She's like, no, I'm a call girl.
There's a difference. There's a difference. It's only been 4 days. All right.
She only turned what, like 4 tricks? He was the 4th or something like that?
Something like that.
Oh, I think she was like the 2nd, maybe. He's like, I've only been doing this 4 days. And it's like, yeah, because after I have sex, I get to go out on a cold roof in Detroit.
Now it's like a fucking billboard sign platform.
No shit.
I always
Like,
wondered.
everybody can see this, right? You can see us sitting here talking. It's late at night in Detroit, where buildings cost about 50 cents at this point.
right, the slums.
I always wondered, it opens up with that scene with him at the bar talking to that other girl about Elvis, and he invites her to go to the film with him. What if she would have been like, hell yeah, let's go. And then
Threesome!
the hooker
Ruffle!
shows up, it could have been a whole different movie.
That was Sarah's mom from The Crow.
I was going to
That's
say
where
that
she's from. God
there's,
damn it. Thank
there's
you.
somebody else. There's
I could
somebody
sleep
else that I
tonight.
noticed. There's somebody else that I noticed that's in The Crow, or that's in this movie.
Fuck,
Yeah,
that was bugging me. Thank
the,
you.
The scene with Sam Jackson, the guy that gets shot first.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's old dude from The Crow. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got
Who,
his-
Tony Todd?
No, the black dude that Crow got his where
the fuck was that name?
Raven got his stuff from.
oh.
Where he put up the
Under-
knives in alphabetical order.
No.
Yeah. It took me
Chat,
a second. I
what
was
was the name of the knife guy from The Crow? Chat.
Lawrence Mason.
No, like the character.
Tintin.
Yeah.
Tintin.
No,
That's-
Tintin was the head guy, wasn't he?
No, that was Tintin.
Was it Tintin? What's
Yeah.
the main guy's name then? I forgot. Oh, who cares?
We'll do that movie next week.
The remake's coming out
Later.
soon anyway. Who cares?
Oh, no.
Anyway,
And we were talking before we went on. Because we were talking about how Clarence works in the comic book store and how he casually just goes over and you want to see Spider-Man #1 and just has on. So there's a couple things I let slide, but the dialogue and the characters, like, you don't care.
yeah.
No.
there's
so good.
There's some really like great moments in this movie. Which of course, I mean, you got to talk about the Dennis Hopper, Christopher Walken standoff there. Of course, we can't repeat things that are said in it, but
we can talk about it, but we can't talk about it.
But that scene right there is just so like, I mean, you got two heavy hitters right there.
Yeah.
Anytime in a movie, it's just like watching Heat, for the first time, and it's De Niro and Pacino, and stuff like same kind of feel. You got those two guys who are both badasses in their own right. Being how you kind of figured they might be in real life anyway. I think it was it Mel Gibson or somebody talking about the first time they met Christopher Walken said that he floated to them, that he wasn't, he just like the guy, and then he just went sideways and just floated back. And they said that they said that he was like on like then they came in, he greeted them on like the first or second floor, whatever it was. And then he went up on the roof for the party or something, and he was already there. So my thought is, like, is Christopher Walken really the guy from Lost Highway? But anyway,
I mean,
alien.
Did he have an aura? Did he have an orange aura like Rick James?
Unity.
Does your mother know how to sew? Bam! Get her to sew that.
Jeez. And I mean, we can't even talk about the exchange between Clarence and Drexel. We can't even talk about that because half the shit they say, and that's although you want to know how I know you messed up? Because you've been looking at me this whole time, and there's a big ass pair of titties on a TV screen.
Some breasts.
Yeah.
Breasts.
Man, this movie is violent. I forgot how brutal some of the scenes are in it, and like that whole when Christian Slater, just kind of just lets go and just like starts firing at him, all the blood and all that whole fucking scene. Like, I don't know.
Dick.
It's just brutal. It is one that like I love this movie a lot. I need to watch it more. It's one of those it kind of gets, I don't know, like I kind of forget about it sometimes.
You're forgetting about Tony Soprano versus Kristen Parker.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Right.
Yeah, James Gandolfini as well as in this movie.
That's a really brutal scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man, when he beats the crap out of her, I was like, man, this is.
Turn around. No,
turn around. She's got the corkscrew over her. She's just like, it's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? But
he starts laughing at him. She's like, "You look ridiculous," and he gets all pissed off.
I actually forgot he was in this.
Makes me wonder if that's his character from The Mexican.
Right.
Maybe Tarantino. Maybe people are trying to, kind of like Caroline Williams, who is like, who's always saying it's, oh, well, this character I play is Stretch. No, it's not. Shut up. It's not Stretch. Shut up. Just shut your fucking mouth. Nobody cares. The only people who remember Stretch are people who know Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And believe it or not, it's not a huge majority of people, Caroline. Just relax.
Should be.
There's a lot more people than you think. I mean, I love that movie.
Well, I know, but it's like everybody. Okay, even Spielberg loved the original Chainsaw. That's how Toby got the job on Poltergeist. Okay,
Right.
And Toby directed that fucking movie. I'll fight anybody.
I agree.
But for her to say everything that she does, oh, I'm Stretch, or that's Stretch's cousin, or something, like, shut the fuck up. It is not. Your 15 minutes are over, woman. They're over. They're done. The clock expired. Milk's gone sour. Sorry. You knew what you were getting into, Chuck. This is your fault.
Speaking of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Dennis Hopper's in this film.
Yes.
Fucking amazing actor. We're going to tie it in right there. That's
There
our
you go.
tie-in. Moving along.
And you mentioned The Mexican earlier, starring Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's in this
there you
movie
go.
too.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Full of segues.
Connections.
It's all
Scissors.
Yes. Scissor me,
Full circle,
daddy.
And another small role, but I think one of my favorite stoner roles of all time.
Floyd.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
He's fucking great in this movie.
Oh,
I don't know why when he
your
says
ass,
get some
man.
cleaning products, I couldn't stop laughing. I don't know why that was just very funny to me.
I just like when all the guys walk in with the guns and he's just sitting on the couch and he's like, oh. He's like, whoa. So you guys want to smoke a bowl?
That is a typical stoner like response.
He's smoking out of a fucking honey bear, like empty bottle.
I've done that. Am I alone on this?
No, I guarantee you.
Yeah, as far as this end goes.
That was the first. That was actually the first smoking device I ever used. That wasn't just rolling one.
Every time I see that, I always think of fucking Clueless. Fucking Breckenmeyer. Just going kitchenwares. That's where I used to keep it.
Oh, it's been forever since I've seen that fucking movie.
I love that movie. I'm stupid.
All that they said. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say when it reminds me of when Donald Faison, before he got his role on Scrubs, people wouldn't know his name, so they would call out to him, be like, "Hey, Clueless!"
Yeah.
Okay, but no,
That's all I knew him from.
they said that Brad Pitt pretty much improvised everything.
Wow.
I'm sure.
Even the hat he was wearing, he said he just found it on the boardwalk.
Nice.
and kept it. So
Back in those days, he was a known party boy. Back in those days. So yeah, he probably didn't have to study too hard for this role. You know, he knew what he was
when he's
doing.
fucking, whenever he's talking to like the fucking mafia dudes or whatever, and he's trying to give them directions, they're like, "You understand this fucking guy? Like, what the fuck's this guy talking about?" It's like, you go down. No. Yeah, you go out here.
We've all known that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you've even been that guy once or twice.
The guy on the couch.
I've never been Stephen Wright, but
I've never had a bunch of gangsters or anything
that you remember.
I'm pretty sure I'd remember that.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of Italian mobsters in Kentucky.
Well, there's a bluegrass mafia or whatever it is.
Wow, there's a mafia for everything.
There really is. Something like that, yeah.
I don't know if that's.
It's connected. It's whatever was connected with the cocaine bear.
That's what I was literally just what popped in my head was like Desperado, but with banjo cases.
The banjo player.
That was what we want to know. I'll tell you whatever you want. Just stop playing.
But the key thing to remember is to never steal from the mob. And that's what Clarence and Alabama learned the hard way.
These
Well, they didn't know they were stealing from the mob. It's a lot of accidental.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They thought that giant suitcase full of white powder was her clothes.
Yeah.
How heavy are your fucking clothes, lady?
Yeah, right.
I have a lot of negligees.
Man, the shit that Bronson Pinchot has to go through.
My man, Bronson. Yes.
I always thought that like when he's in the car with the chick and he's trying to get her to like hide the coke, and then she just smacks him because he calls her a fucking whore or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes on, and then like the look on his face is like it's perfect because it's like, what are you gonna do then? You're caught.
You're just
Like there's no way out of that. You can't say you've been eating powdered donuts. The guy.
It's a really big donut.
That's a big fucking donut. That's a big fucking problem.
That's a big fucking Twinkie.
But it's hilarious though because you're like, okay, this guy's gonna get his and so much everyone.
Yeah,
Then that fucking dude
like that. He was a rat and he got shot.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Why does he know your name? Why do you know his name?
See, the only things I remember from this, the Langoliers, and obviously
Strangers.
Perfect Strangers.
I was waiting for him to call somebody cousin Larry.
My favorite movie.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's in the new one too.
Yep.
sounds like a detergent.
Detergent. No, it says
It's
not right for
Serge.
you.
Serge.
Yeah, Second Sight is like one of my favorite movies. I love that
You
movie.
can't forget Tom Sizemore either as a fucking cop whenever he's sitting there fucking laughing his ass off whenever he's got Elliot pressed up there crying with the fucking gun to his
In
head.
the
He's like,
elevator.
he's
Yeah.
bullshitting you. He's like, I fucking love this guy. This Clarence guy's crazy. Fucking Tom Sizemore's probably all coked out of his mind right there in that scene.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Which is it's weird to see
No
him as a
doubt.
cop though, because he's always like you can't have a war movie without him.
Right?
True.
That's why we haven't had any really good war movies anymore. No Tom Sizemore.
He's
No Tom
fucking great.
Sizemore. Yeah,
But
man.
it goes back to what we were saying earlier about how Tarantino writes such great supporting characters. It's like you could take the characters of Dennis Hopper's character and Christopher Walken's character and just make a whole other film with those guys.
Mhm.
You could take Chris Penn and Tom Sizemore and do some kind of buddy comedy film with those
True.
guys. You know,
Yeah.
just these small roles stood out so much in this film. And it's just a collection, like we said, it's a whole cavalcade of amazing actors, and there's just like so many small parts that are moving around, and they're all good that come together and make it such an enjoyable film.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Drexel movie.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Maybe White
story,
Boy
yeah.
movie.
The
It's White
story
Boy
of
movie.
Drexel.
and I think Roger Avery even said that in one of the original drafts, like from Pulp Fiction, where the scene where they shoot the bullets and it misses them, that was supposed to be incorporated with Drexel somehow. I think Drexel was supposed to be shot at and missed him. And there was some other scene from Pulp Fiction. The scene with Marvin, when he shoots Marvin in the face.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah, that was written with Drexel in mind. So it's interesting to see how it actually played out in the scheme of things. But
Yeah.
who knows? There could have been a whole other Drexel film or whatever at some point.
It's like Tarantino's own MCU.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a Tarantino universe.
So
Yeah,
Drexel
I mean,
was supposed to
in
be
Tarantino's
Marvin.
universe, Hitler's dead. Or he was killed in a theater.
Yeah. True.
I don't know. I don't know if Drexel was supposed to be Marvin or the person who shot Marvin. I would imagine the person who shot Marvin, if it was incorporated where he got missed with the bullets. So I don't know if he was supposed to be one of the gangsters.
Oh, yeah, right.
And it just got changed at some point. I would love to see all these original scripts. They're somewhere.
They're definitely somewhere.
I wonder why Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette weren't in other Quentin Tarantino movies. Like, I know this wasn't like he just wrote the damn thing, but like, I wonder why he never sought them out.
That is a good question.
Well, if he would
at that time, maybe.
Instead of dogs, he might have been.
Yeah, true. Because Christian Slater, I guess, around that time, he was kind of still doing his bad boy thing too. All those fucking younger ones, along with Kiefer Sutherland, all those people, partying up, getting in trouble. Of course, Christian Slater was always like the little mini clone of Jack Nicholson. That's how I always looked at him. I've always been a fan of Christian Slater. Oh, and he's got the eyebrows and everything, man.
Yeah.
Like I've ever since I was a kid, I was like, man, he's just kind of like. I thought he was Jack Nicholson's kid for the longest time when I was younger. So I thought it was something kind of like acted so like because they really do. If you watch like old school Jack Nicholson movies, like when he was like real young, and then see how Christian Slater, like how he acted in most of his roles that everybody knew him from before he started making a lot of movies no one knows.
His reaction, like faces and stuff, are kind of similar too. That you mentioned that.
Yeah. So I mean, like I've always been a fan,
Yeah,
he did put Rosanna in Pulp Fiction. So
that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true. So he's coming with the
Patricia.
architect.
yeah, I don't think there was any heat with them. It's just I don't know if
I
he.
wonder if
I
that
don't
was
know.
supposed to be them in the restaurant.
What pumpkin and honey bunny?
Yeah. I think.
I mean,
Could have
there's all these ties. I mean, it's Alabama gets mentioned in Reservoir Dogs. Based off of the original Tarantino cut of True Romance. At the end, obviously, Clarence dies and Alabama goes off, and we're led to believe that it picks up at some point with her and Mr. White, where they're robbing places together. And he talks about it in Reservoir Dogs. So there's that connection there. Who knows? I mean, I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, if Alabama, Clarence gets killed, Alabama goes off, she's on her own. She meets a younger Mr. White, and they are essentially Pumpkin and Honey Bunny in Pulp Fiction. And then after that robbery, they choose not, to split up. And then eventually, Mr. White is his character in Reservoir Dogs, and she's wherever, in the universe. But you could see the ties to all that and how that could play out essentially.
Makes my head hurt.
The Tarantino verse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one thing I love about his movies, though, is that there's always little Easter eggs that from other movies and all that shit. And that I kind of dig that fact of it. Like the first time I watched Reservoir Dogs, and I saw Pulp Fiction first. My mom took me to go see it when I was 12. She didn't know what she was getting into, but
Oh, nice.
So that's the staple of his early work. Was you always had this couple that were in love, that were on the run, doing it, all these different films have different, similar vibes, but are totally different in many ways.
No one as cool as Clarence in Alabama, though.
Yeah, so cool.
You're so cool.
You're so cool, Brewster. Ha.
That just reminds me that they remade that too.
Yeah.
What?
What's
Fright
that
Night.
about? Yeah.
Oh, Friday Night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they're all getting remade.
Rooster.
I wonder if anybody. I never found this whenever I was looking up stuff. If there was anybody else considered for the roles of Clarence in Alabama.
Well, Val Kilmer originally was supposed to be Clarence, but then he didn't get the part. That's why he took the Elvis role.
And that was the thing. I remember, probably the first time I watched this, I was like, "Where the fuck's Val Kilmer?"
Right?
Yeah.
Because you never really see him. He's just in the background, sort of. So I was like, "Where I didn't even see."
They were trying to actually use Elvis's songs, but they fucking wouldn't let him.
Man,
You know what's funny is if you put Val Kilmer's characters as musicians together, you get Danzig.
What?
Val Kilmer played Jim Morrison. He also played Elvis. Danzig is kind of like if you took Elvis and Jim Morrison and put them together.
He's gonna play fucking. Well, never mind.
Although we also get Danzig buying kitty litter at the grocery store.
Yeah, because you're watching the opening of this movie, the opening credits, and it's just name after name after name. And poor Samuel.
Yeah.
Man,
That is before he was anything.
He was never in anything very long back in the day, though.
He's another one that's done everything.
Coming to America.
He's like the only person from. Well, no, Walken was in Pulp Fiction, but after that, he didn't show up in anything else. Tarantino, but it's like Samuel L. Jackson's the only one that's been like consistently. Working with Tarantino. Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown,
Kill Bill.
What's that?
Kill Bill.
Yep, and then wasn't he a voiceover in Inglourious Bastards?
Voiceover what?
Was he?
Voiceover in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I can't
then
remember if it was or not.
Hateful Eight. Fuck that movie. But he wasn't in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I also don't like.
He was in Django.
That's why you don't like the Tarantino Samuel L. Jackson-less movies.
I don't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it just drags. Like we don't need to see Brad Pitt drive from DiCaprio's house to his trailer. Just you can set that shit up so you can cut it. Fucking cut that shit, you fucking piece of shit.
That was one movie that I've actually never seen all of. I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
And Bruce Lee's family was super pissed.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
I did see that scene.
Yeah.
And because speaking of Brad Pitt, he's worked with Tarantino a couple of times. He's supposed to be in Tarantino's last movie here too, coming up.
The Critic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Geez.
I wonder how that's going to be. Yeah,
it's just Tom Lovitz. Yeah.
That would be. You know how fucking hilarious that would be if Quentin Tarantino's final movie was like the movie serious adaptation of The Critic. That would be hilarious to me.
Like there was like blood and everything in The Critic. He was shooting people who offended him with their movies.
Yeah. I actually would almost love to see that. But it would have to be John
Quentin
Lovitz.
said about this movie, though, the thing that bothered him the most was that all the posters on the wall and Floyd and fucking Dick's house all had poster frames around them. And he was like, these are two broke-ass dudes that are fucking buying $3,000 worth of poster frames.
Yeah.
When they can't even find enough money to eat.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, because he's always looking at the details to everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like most people kind of just disregard that. But it's like, yeah, these guys are broke. They just have shitty posters pinned up on the wall, like we all did when we were younger.
Like when we were
That
younger.
was the main thing that pissed him off.
Or right now.
Well, if that was the main thing that pissed him off, that's
Pretty
not
good.
bad.
It didn't even really piss him off. It just kind of
No, but he's just like, it bugged him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's like, you can definitely tell that was just like the stage people just fucking putting shit up, using movie posters so they can take them back down and put them in frames.
No.
He's like, no. He's like, it should be
Well,
just
all my
pushed in.
posters are in frames, but fuck it. I'm an adult with a job.
And Dick had just got a role to be in TJ Hooker.
Ooh.
My house still looks
Oh, yeah.
like the best like teenager's room. Like just there's horror
We
stuff.
can
all over the
see it
place.
behind you, yeah.
This is my bedroom. Like I got horror posters.
Oh,
on-
where the magic happens with his hand.
Oh, whoa.
We don't want to interrupt you
whenever
on
I have
your
time,
Valentine's Day date.
this is the week of love.
Yeah.
It is the week of spooge and a sock.
Whoa.
Man, I've told you, motherfuckers, I haven't used a sock in years.
I
Goddamn.
didn't bring it up.
Talking to Ron mainly.
I've upgraded to a boot.
Yes. I got to use Doc Martin that I just go blam in.
Nobody say anything for like a minute.
Where's the cricket noise now?
Where's the old cum boot?
It's walking around on its own.
In socks. Coming in boots.
That reminds me, I gotta place an order.
I got to order some cum boots from DoorDash.
Jordash?
DoorDash.
Oh.
Or Cum Hub, whatever. Uber Splat.
What the fuck was I gonna say?
I don't know.
I don't
lost
know.
everything just now. I had like three things in my mind, and I totally
Google?
forgot everything.
Google.
Yes.
Do you think
That's
Tarantino
the
will really
next
retire
drawing
after
for
that?
Google.
What?
I doubt it. He'll find something to do. He still wants to do
gonna
that
say-
Star Trek movie.
I
Will
think
he
he'll
be the
do-
Terry Funk of retirement and
Oh God.
keep coming
I
back?
don't think.
Bret
I don't know if
Hart,
he'll-
your
I
mother's
think he's
a
going to end up
whore.
doing one or the other. He's either going to write it or he's going to direct it.
Yeah. I see that's the thing is with Tarantino, I think he's a better writer than a director because my two favorite Tarantino movies he didn't had nothing to do with directing, and that's True Romance and From Dusk Till Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn is a B movie masterpiece in my
Oh, it's so
opinion.
good. Oh, it's
It
one of my
is-
favorite movies of all time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that movie in the slightest.
It's
and
perfect.
it is. And it's Robert Rodriguez. It's not Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
You know, so
That is very true. That movie. That's one of my favorite vampire films. Fun.
I have a
vampire.
buddy who does like he goes to like comic conventions and he sells like big high end toys, and he was having his summer sale out of his garage, and he said I got these movie like theatrical posters actually from the theater, and he had a From Dusk Till Dawn one, and I was like, how much? And it's like a big one. I'm gonna have to have somebody like make the frame for me. I'm gonna have to go to Hobby Lobby or something, and it's the original From Dusk Till Dawn. He gave it to me for $10.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, awesome.
That's
Now,
cool.
now, do I take down my signed Toxic Avenger poster or the write-up about me in Fangoria? I don't know. I'm total humble bragging right now.
Decisions.
Yes.
I think Tarantino will end up doing TV.
You think so? I mean, he did
that
do
could
ER.
be. Yeah.
Could do.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
Series.
I mean,
Just saying.
I can see it happening.
Two of the things I always wanted to see get done, like Kill Bill 3, I think would have been interesting. And I think the Vega Brothers would have been.
That was
Oh,
supposed
I
to
would like
happen,
to see
but
that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But then everybody got old. So
Old and crazy and dead.
that woman
So-
deserves her vengeance, and we deserve to die.
He just needs to have like as many of his old characters come back in one movie and then call it good. It'd just be like, instead of like the Marvel shit, it'd just be Tarantino's like world. It'd just be a mess.
No, all the characters should come through portals like the end of Endgame.
Oh God!
They all just show up.
Stop talking.
I'm
Someone's listening.
gonna edit that shit together tonight.
So which ending of this film do you like? Has everybody seen both endings?
Mm-hmm.
I
just
probably
saw the one
have.
with
but
I have.
I don't think I said it on the air, but like I only watched bits and pieces of this movie. Rewatching it, I didn't get a chance to actually full on watch it. It was just on while I was doing shit.
But I
So,
mean, do you prefer Clarence living or dying? That's the main thing.
oh, dying.
Yeah.
I'm totally. I'm a firm believer in Terrence living. Clarence, not Terrence. What the fuck is wrong with my brain?
Terrence and Philip. Hey, buddy.
Yes. Hey, buddy.
Uh-oh.
You fucked your uncle yesterday. But no, I think that Clarence living is, and I know it's a real fairy tale ending, but sometimes you need that after everything you've gone through.
I
You
can
just
get
need
that.
that little bit of a, so it's.
For me, I feel like in a situation like that, you also can, don't have to show the fairy tale ending. In a situation like that, maybe it's good to show that maybe if you do a bunch of stupid shit, one of you is gonna die.
Yeah,
Like,
and then that's the big thing for me. I don't mind the original ending. I kind of like the ending that Tarantino had because it's like I feel like there has to be some kind of consequence for all the shit that they stirred up and all the people that suffered and died because of them and their recklessness. Everything here between those two characters is so ill-conceived. It's so just drop of the dime, like, oh, let's go get married. Let's do this. Let's do that. Go to LA, sell this coke, go live happily ever after. And it's, I'm sure everybody's experienced it at some point where you meet somebody and you're like, oh, I'm totally in love. And this, it's just so amazing. But come to find out that, I'm just in love with this situation and how my life is changing. It's not, I'm
more in love with the
this
idea.
person. Yes.
More in love with the idea.
And, it's just, dumb luck that they even get as far as they do. It's almost, when I was thinking about it earlier, it's kind of like the whole film they're playing Russian roulette, and it's like, dodge a bullet there, dodge a bullet there, dodge a bullet there, and it's like finally you're going to run out of chances, and you catch one, and with the Tony Scott ending, you don't get that, and I don't know. I kind of like the idea of there needs to be some kind of consequences. Yeah,
I like the Alabama voiceover better in the Tarantino ending, where she's like, "You wanted everything, you wanted a happy life, you wanted all the money. Now you wanted me. Now you have nothing."
Yeah. Because she's trying to get mad at him so she can move forward.
Right.
I remember a lot of people saying like, "Oh, that doesn't even sound like Alabama," but it's like, what do you do at that point? Like, you got. I mean, all this took place in the span of like maybe a week, if anything. So everything happened very fast.
Well, it's also one of those situations where it's like people say it doesn't sound like her, but you also haven't been in her position. You haven't been in this whirlwind romance where a bunch of people died. And I would also argue that it's not their fault all those people died. I would blame Balky for that because he's the one that didn't take care. He had to test it for himself and do it on the road with the fucking, just go dance in the toilet instead, huh? Just go do that, and everybody will be fine when Saul Rubinek gets his coke. And
but they were the ones that were like, "We'll just sell this coke that this drug dealer had that we killed."
Yeah, I mean, it's a butterfly effect.
So you can't just blame Bronson Pinchot, Balky Bartokomous. No, like you can't, because like if it wasn't for Christian Slater and them getting the fucking cocaine and doing that whole shit, and him playing old big man with it because he thinks, hey, I could be a big drug dealer now, then like none of that shit would have happened.
Can we also talk about what the cleaning lady probably thought when she went into their hotel after James Gandolfini and her got into a fight?
Oh Jesus, yeah.
There's just a dead James Gandolfini right there.
I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Exactly. I want my green card, but not like this.
Yeah. I come back later.
I like the end shootout with all the fucking pillow feathers flying everywhere.
Yeah.
It always looks cool.
That felt very John Woo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
very Miami Vice.
What's weird is I don't think there's any intentional connection here. But whenever I went back and watched this, it made me think of Dream Warriors with
Ah,
Patricia Arquette,
nice.
where she goes into that dream and they're all in that room, and then Freddy starts slashing all the mattresses and the feathers fly everywhere. And I'm like, fuck, man, it's almost two identical scenes where Patricia Arquette is in this room and there's just feathers just going everywhere. And it's so, I don't think anybody looked at that and said, oh, we're going to take that spot from Dream Warriors and kind of play it out here in this scene. But it's just so crazy that Patricia Arquette is in two different films where these feathers are just flying everywhere. And
maybe it's in her claws. Maybe it's
I need
you have to have feathers.
Feathers.
I mean, it's a good look in the shootout. It's a cool effect where you're seeing all these feathers and everything like that. So especially along with the music, Hans Zimmer's music. It's such a good score. And
the theme for this is amazing.
Yeah,
and it's so. But you know what's funny is, have you guys ever done a double feature with this movie before? Because I have the perfect movie to do a double feature with True Romance, Miracle Mile. With
I've not done that.
Miracle Mile and True Romance as a double feature is amazing, because if you've ever has anybody here seen Miracle Mile?
No.
Oh, you are fucking missing out, boys. I'm telling you. It's Anthony Edwards from ER when he had hair. Denise Crosby probably right after she left TNG, the smart thing. And you dumbass. And then what was her name? She's got a really weird fucking Mare Winningham. And it's about these two people who meet each other and they immediately fall for each other. But then they find he gets a phone call on a payphone saying that there's going to be a nuclear war, and everything happens and it's all fucked up. And he just keeps going to try and find her, even though he's only known her 12 hours. And it's very, very Clarence and Alabama. And I like it a lot. And it's got Tangerine Dream as a soundtrack.
There you
go. I'll check out then.
Yeah, I mean, Clarence in Alabama, it's just puppy love, and that's the thing. I enjoy this film, but it's not like I'm in love with it like I am with Natural Born Killers, because the puppy love between Clarence and Alabama doesn't feel like the bond that Mickey and Mallory have in Natural Born Killers. It's totally different,
right?
But the essential story, or the basis of everything, where it's like love conquers everything, or love conquers the demon, however you want to look at it. Both stories are kind of telling a similar story, but in two completely different ways. I
wonder if Tarantino was very lonely when he wrote this.
Maybe.
I'm wondering what Tarantino film we're going to do next Valentine's Day.
Hateful Eight.
Oh shit, we did do Killers last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
go figure.
I don't know how I feel about Natural Born Killers. I haven't seen it enough to really make a judgment on it.
So good.
But I do like the song "Burn" by 9 Inch Nails on the soundtrack.
Other great soundtrack.
That is a very killer soundtrack. Yeah.
But I mean, can we deny that the Crow soundtrack may be the best soundtrack ever?
No, because that is always going to be my number one favorite soundtrack. And then Lost Highway.
Demon Knight.
Yeah.
Demon Knight
was good.
Yeah. There's a few. Last Action Hero actually has a fun one.
Let's not talk about Tales from the Crypt. I get enough of that shit Saturday nights.
Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs were dope ass soundtracks.
Yeah. Oh, I always give it up to Quentin when it comes down to we talked about this before. He just always has these really good retro soundtracks that just, I don't know, they're fun to listen to sometimes. Jackie.
The only song that threw me off in this movie was the Aerosmith song.
Oh, that's right.
It didn't feel like it belonged.
Yeah. Chuck, I thought about you right away when that song came on.
Because he knows how much you love Steven Tyler.
I love to see his head in my boot.
What was the song again?
Your cum boot? Oh. Take Me to the Other Side. That's what they call in comedy a callback. I think it's Take Me to the Other Side or something like that.
The Other Side. Okay. The Other Side is what it's called, the song.
Oh, I will say I do want Clarence's car. That car is fucking dope as shit.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
Cadillac.
Well, I know like Christopher Walken said it was purple, but it looked more pinkish to me. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was pink too.
It looked pink when they were in L.A.
It's purple. You know.
Pink alert.
Didn't Vincent have that same car, except it was red?
Yeah, that was Tarantino's car. That was like the first car he bought.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Like that was his car. Like Tarantino bought the car and then they used it in Pulp Fiction.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Reservoir Dogs.
All about the fun facts.
All of them.
You gotta get the fun facts.
Well, yeah.
And there's a lot. There's a lot. Like the
Come
guy.
on.
Shit, what's the guy's name? The movie executive, the director guy or whatever, who's trying to
Oh
get.
yeah, that little weasel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's trying to buy the coke off Clarence.
Uh-huh.
His character is.
Come home in a body bag too.
I think he's the son of Eli Roth's character from Inglourious Bastards.
I'll look it up right now because I'm quick with my fingers. Just
I
ask all the
can't
ladies.
remember the character names off the top of my head.
his name was Lee. He started with a D. Dunn v. something. Because I remember like the mafia dudes say it whenever they walk into the hotel.
Is it that guy?
Donowitz. Lee Donowitz.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the name of Eli Roth's character in
Donnie Donowitz.
Inglorious Donnie Donowitz, yeah.
So
Which,
Don-
if you guys don't know, that was supposed to be Adam Sandler.
Yep.
I would have loved it more if it was Adam
Yeah.
Sandler.
That'd be interesting.
So
Yeah, the guy the guy we were just talking about, he's got one of those faces because I've seen him in so many fucking.
Oh, he's in so much. He
shows.
was in Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg.
He was he was a character on Frasier. He was on Seinfeld. He always plays this goofy like dude and everything, but like he has one of those faces that like you just
Well, he's in all
want to.
sorts of shit. Like he's
You-
in,
you just
he
wanna
was in Warehouse
smack it.
13.
Yeah, he's been all
what
kinds
else?
of stuff. But I hate his face. I mean, maybe mean to say, but I just hate his face. I mean, the way it looks like somebody else did too. Ugh.
He already got hit with a stick.
Saul Rubinek is his
Yes.
name.
Of course, it's Saul.
Better Call Saul. But yeah,
Which was a fantastic show.
But yeah, Eli Roth's character, Donnie Donowitz, that's his son in the mythos, where whenever he makes that film Coming Home in a Body Bag, it's a film to his dad, who was in, obviously in Inglourious Bastards.
Isn't there another character in Death Proof that's supposed to be related to Donnie Donowitz?
Not sure off the top of my head.
Because I think there was.
I love Death Proof though.
I like Planet Terror better.
See, I prefer Death Proof.
Less
Like Death
less
Proof.
Eli Roth.
I'm starting to feel like, in It's Always Sunny, that scene with Charlie, when Charlie and Mac are working in the mailroom and Charlie's putting all the pieces together.
Yeah.
I feel like that's us tonight with these movies.
Maybe.
Oh, right. True.
And then Samuel L. Jackson is in the Marvel movies and he's in the Tarantino movies.
Sam Jackson's in everything though.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but
Not as much as he used to be. I remember there was like a running joke. Movie would come out and be like, "Hey, the movie came out, yeah,
did you see Deep
Sam
Blue
Jackson in
Sea? The fucking shark ate me.
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of how Ben Affleck was back in the day.
yeah."
He was in fucking everything, like Dazed and Confused, and then fucking Glory Days, and
Yeah,
he was fucking everywhere.
Matt
He
Damon.
worked with the fashionable male.
He did.
I feel like
Customers
Ben
are always an
Affleck,
asshole.
I feel like Ben Affleck did more shit. Like his career took off quicker than Matt Damon's did in a lot of ways. I don't know. I just feel like
Well, you can
Ben Affleck had
thank
better
Jimmy
movies.
Kimmel for Matt Damon having a career.
I
At
mean,
the
I
end
don't
of
know.
every show, and apologies to Matt Damon.
Yeah, I always think it's kind of funny, but then I also kind of thought it was kind of funny when it was the Oscars or wherever that one year, and he shows up and he's just like, because Jimmy Kimmel was like hosting it or some shit, and he's like trying to talk, and then like Matt Damon comes up there and he's like eating an apple and he's like giving him shit because they didn't win anything, and it was just, I don't know, it was pretty funny. Those wacky like celebrities on those
No,
wacky-
you old celebrities, those millionaires.
So crazy.
I mean, you can't beat
Well,
Ricky
that
Gervais's
means
whole thing.
That they're part. Oh wait, I can't finish the line.
Oh, well.
Sorry. Oh, plus I didn't have the cigarette in my hand. So that means that you are part. Never mind.
What's funny too, like during that shootout scene, whenever like Elliot talks to the cop and the cop mentions Elliot, and then he's just fucking like going off like, "I treated you like a son." He's like, "You'll never work in this town again. You can tear up your SAG card."
Bring your SAG card. Like that's the biggest insult he can come up with. That's the funny thing, you know, because it's like we can't quote the Sicilian scene, obviously, but I mean, if you know you're going to die, because you know from the beginning, whenever Christopher Walken tells him, you know, like when you get to heaven, you can tell him you've never seen evil in such a, you know, human person, whatever. So Dennis Hopper's character knows he's going to die. It's just a matter of, you know, how much can he hold out and not give any information to give up his son. And, you know, he comes up with the idea is I'm going to tell this story and I'm going to find the way to, you know, it's like, I'm done. My time is up, but I'm going to insult this person the worst possible way I can.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to have mine before I go out. So, you know, it's funny because he mentions that it's like, Dennis Hopper's character has such a good retort to his demise as opposed to Lee, who's like, burn your SAG card. Something so cheesy, but it's like, you know, the two different characters in two different worlds.
Fields now?
Yeah.
And like the music playing in the background. Oh, so good.
God damn it. That song's stuck in my head now.
Right?
Take me to the other side.
Don't do it.
Shit.
And I when I was watching this back, I'm like, fuck. Looking at Chris Penn, man, he reminds me of Jonah Hill so much.
Yes.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
I was like, fuck, man.
And I love that big guy, like, I hate cops. Come give me an ambulance.
The fucking dude that played Thor in Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah.
He was in a lot. He
need an ambulance.
Too. What else was he look familiar too?
Wasn't he in Die Hard? One of that Die Hards, I think.
He might have been in two.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Who are we talking about again?
I'm pretty sure he could be Triple H's stunt double.
The blonde guy.
Who?
Now.
The blonde. Never mind. You didn't.
Who wants to be Vince's stunt double now?
What are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
No, we're not. No.
No. You know what's funny about Vince McMahon is he always says, I'll never have my wrestlers do things that I won't do first. So I wonder if he's just trying to get into the German scat film industry.
Ooh, maybe.
I'm uncomfortable.
You need an adult? Melissa thought it was funny.
It's just a shitty situation.
It is. It's a giant pile of shit.
Poopies.
I mean, it's better than feet.
Final thoughts of True Romance.
True Romance. Good movie.
What else? I feel like we've kind of skimmed over a lot of stuff.
I will say though, hold on. I do want to say, I will say this though. With the Spider-Man #1, that is, as a comic book nerd, it didn't drive me as nuts as him like pulling out a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15. Oh, Colin.
Hi, Colin. Welcome to the store.
Yeah, that's the woman that. Yeah. Anyway, but no. Spider-Man #1 isn't nearly as expensive as Amazing Fantasy 15 is.
Yeah.
But so that's like first appearance was Amazing Fantasy, and Spider-Man #1 has the Fantastic Four on the cover because they're going after Spider-Man. Because as you do when you're the Fantastic Four. I'm a fucking comic book nerd. Leave me alone. No. Don't judge me.
So am I. It's okay.
No judging in the store.
Okay, good. All right, let me put my pants back on then. We're not going to judge things.
You want me to suck his dick? Oh, who the fuck is Dick? Oh.
I forgot about that part. I cracked up at that too. That was good shit.
It's like, who are you? I'm Dick. Well, yeah, but what do you got to do in this? I'm Elliot's friend. It's like, poor bastard.
And that was the sad part because I thought for sure the first time I saw this film, whenever he gets the call back that he got the part and they're getting ready to go to the deal, I was like, this dude is done. I thought he was going to get smoked for sure. He's like the only one that gets out of there besides Alabama and Clarence in the original ending.
Yeah,
But,
depending what ending you're watching.
Yeah.
Elliot, do I look like a big, beautiful blonde with big titties and an ass that tastes like French vanilla ice cream? I love that line so much.
It's a good
Why are you trying to fuck me like one?
That's like the Marcellus Wallace line.
Yeah.
You look like a bitch. Why are you trying to fuck him like one?
And that sounds like something Drexel would say. So that's where I can see the connection to where that could have been Drexel.
And
You know,
if you go into Reservoir Dogs, Joe mentions Marcellus Spivey, who is a kind of an anagram of Drexel Spivey and Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah,
Right.
So, interesting.
Yes, very interesting. Now let's talk about why Tarantino likes feet so much. Man's got
That's a
a
weird one.
yeah.
I think we actually spent like 15 minutes talking about that on the Quentin Tarantino episode.
It's quite possible.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's a pretty common fetish. I mean, it's not that weird.
No, it's just funny because scenes like in From Dusk Till Dawn.
I like feet.
Oh yeah. Oh my
That's-
god.
he totally wrote that in there for himself.
For
Of course he did.
100%.
Wouldn't you? I mean, I'm not a feet guy, but Selma Hayek can put her feet in my mouth
No, she can't.
and pour shots down it. That's
No.
a fucking bonus. Other than that, I'd just be like, all day long with her foot right in my fucking mouth.
I'll start at
look
her
up.
ankle and go up, but I don't want to see her. I don't want to see her fucking toes.
At least with the alcohol, her foot would be clean.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, you ain't gonna eat her pussy though, right?
I eat ass. I eat everything.
I eat the butt, everything. That's a funny scene too, where that guy is just like so adamant, like, nah, man, I would never eat a chick out.
If I would, I wouldn't admit it.
Just dogging on him.
And it's funny how like times have changed now, where that's common.
Now eating ass is the standard.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about ass, but pussy at least. Although I was going through a Diana Prince rabbit hole, Darcy the Mail Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I did come across a video where she had her face buried until turned off by that.
Did you clean off the video?
I clicked off the video, yes.
No,
So she's just trying to get her kid to be on the soccer team. That's all.
I've seen.
She was giving him
I've
a
seen- I've seen a
prostate
few of
exam.
her. I've seen a few of her workings. I don't know how she can walk. Moving on.
Yes.
It's like, how is there 7 of them? Where are they going?
Dick.
She was on the ground, and now she's stuck to the ground. I wonder why.
It's like that scene in Scary Movie. Yeah, it's literal.
Yeah, basically.
Where'd you
Basically.
go?
Let me tell you what Like a Virgin's about.
It's a metaphor for big dicks.
Oh, man.
Woo!
Oh,
I know,
Good
we
to be
need,
back on the Video Store Clerks.
Let's do it. Got to do like a Quentin Tarantino movie month.
Yeah, we need like 10 more Tarantinos today. Wow, say that.
We just need to get him on the show.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
fuck
that'll
it.
go over. Yeah, I'm sure. And then okay, and it's gonna, and then okay, it's just the violence is like I'm shutting your butt down. Remember when that guy?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
I'm shutting your butt down.
That was an awkward ass interview.
Yeah.
Who was it?
But I watched him on a Tom Segura's fucking podcast.
Two Bears.
And it's kind of funny considering the fact that he's on there talking about his book. Tom Segura didn't even read it. And he kind of like tries to, you can tell he doesn't know anything he's talking about. And at the end of the episode, like Quentin Tarantino pretty much calls him out. And he's like, well, I started listening to the audiobook. He's like, yeah, like when you pulled in like to the lot today, that's when you turned it on, right? Yeah, like let's not lie about it. Like you had no idea about we didn't talk about the book that I was here to talk about. Okay, and like you came in, you put the thing on, you made it listen to it for like 5 minutes. It was just like, oh wow, like, but Tom Segura has kind of become a kind of a jackass lately too. So whatever.
Him and Joe Rogan are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, but I can stand Segura more. I don't know. They both have their moments, but whatever.
So how you guys work this? You guys do ratings? Is that one of those things? Okay, good.
Not really, no. No, we just whatever we like about it, or
just pretty much talk about the film, and if we recommend it, which usually we do, because we usually just talk about good movies.
Which we really should start talking about some shitty movies so we can just bash things.
We used to do that, and it was brutal. Remember the Garbage Pail Kids movie? God damn.
Yeah,
we can do anything by working with each other.
Well, these arrows is out of my head.
That got but we were all complaining about that on that episode.
All right, so I just found a thing where they were saying how when I was trying to figure out if anybody else was considered for the roles earlier, they were saying how Bridget Fonda, Diane Lane, Julia Roberts, Keira Sedgwick, Brooke Shields, and Uma Thurman were all considered for Alabama.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't see any of them else besides Patricia playing her.
And Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson was considered for.
I forgot I saw that.
I was going to say,
I thought
he
you
was going to be
say,
Alabama.
That's what I thought you were going to say. Yeah, that he was.
That would have been interesting, but no, he was considered for the Christopher Walken role.
I've got a very special set of cool.
I've got a very.
And I do remember reading that De Niro was attached to play Blue Lou Boyle in the original draft. They actually attached him, and then they cut down to where he's not. That character is only mentioned in this film. There, you don't actually have any interaction. But the part was cut down so badly that he dropped out. So you could have gotten a Robert De Niro in there as well.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
How big of a fucking movie would this have been then if De Niro was in it?
It's like, what's this budget?
Yeah, I think that he had originally said that they were going to try to do Robert Forster and De Niro as the Blue Lou Boyle and Vincenzo Caccioti roles, and didn't go with De Niro or Forster, and then ended up working with him later in Jackie Brown. So
M16 for every time you have to kill every motherfucker in the room except no substitute. Fucking greatest line.
It's a good line.
But yeah, man, this is just a fun film. Not one of my favorites from Tarantino, but I enjoy it. It's a good romantic film, especially if you watch the original cut. Obviously, if you watch the Tarantino cut, you're gonna be pretty fucking bummed. So, but no, it goes with our theme, Valentine's Day week here, the week of love, and there's a lot of love in this film, and I love that so many great actors got to be in this and put this together because it's a very enjoyable film. Like I said.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. It's one you watch every once in a while, but when you kind of rediscover it, like, this is a good fucking movie, man. Because that's what happened with me. I kind of rediscovered this movie after we decided we were going to do this.
It is, because there's not really any point in this movie are you just kind of like, okay, you can move on now. You're in it.
Yeah, it's got a good pull to it.
It keeps your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not one of again, it's not one of my favorites, but it is one of those that I may not watch it for a few years, and then I'll be like, oh, I haven't watched this in a minute, and then I'll watch it and then realize why I love this movie so much. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's just one of those. It's a special movie.
One thing about this movie I did find that was funny was the roller coaster scene. So apparently Michael Rappaport has motion sickness, and Bronzo Pinochet has fucking vertigo. So like they ended up filming like 6 takes of that scene.
That's fucked up.
And they were sick as fuck for like the next 2 days.
I hate roller coasters.
I hate roller coasters.
Yeah, it was especially supposed to be originally in a zoo, and Tony Scott wanted to do a roller coaster to kind of give it an adrenaline rush, because Top Gun, we got to throw in that fucking adrenaline and get these people amped up. But didn't go so good for Rappaport and Pinchot.
I have the need for Balky.
Paul Bates. Paul Bates is Drexel's partner. Old Paul Bates from Coming to America.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She's your queen.
I thought he was familiar.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of my favorite Tarantino pictures. Like, even the stuff that like when he started directing stuff. I mean, I like Kill Bill and all that kind of stuff, but From Dusk Till Dawn and True Romance are probably my two favorites. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just think he's a far better writer than a director, because he tries to fit in homages to everything in the stuff he directs, and it gets a little tiring.
No, I get that. That's
You
all I
know,
get that. He's
yeah,
a great
like
writer,
Watchmen.
though. Yeah.
Oh, he's a
one of the best in
fantastic-
dialogue alone.
Him and Kevin Smith are in the same boat. They should just be writers. You know, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about his fucking heart attack. It's like, shut the fuck up, Clerks 3.
Right.
You had a heart attack. We get it. Weed saved your life.
Both those guys, they can write a scene with guys just sitting at a table talking.
Yep.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the dialogue alone,
Yeah.
like it's just with good writing, it almost doesn't matter who is repeating the lines. I mean, obviously somebody who can act, but like with a good story, but with good dialogue, man, it can go a long way. It really can. And Tarantino and Smith too are like they're the masters of it when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I wish we had those guys today.
So many good actors in this film, man. It kind of sucks looking back and seeing fucking Dennis Hopper gone. Who else? Gandolfini, Tony Scott, Chris Penn, Sizemore. It's like so many are passed away, and it's so stale. But I mean, Slater. This is primetime Slater.
Yeah.
Right.
Just go.
Like on the heel. It's on the heel of Heather's kind of.
Heather's. You get what he's doing. Young Guns 2.
Young Guns, Cuffs. Oh,
Pump Up
the
the
Wizard.
Volume.
Don't forget the Wizard.
I love Cuffs.
Blaming the Cube.
I love Blaming the Cube.
Jesus.
That was my shit.
Pump Up the Volume is my favorite, though.
Yeah, you Young Guns 2, Pump Up the Volume. You got this. You got Interview with the Vampire. It's like primetime Slater, and then this is one of the big roles for Patty Arquette as well.
Another Brad Pitt
There you go.
interview.
The interview with his honey bear bong.
No, that should that would have been a funny scene. Like if that was just an interview with a vampire, he just pulls it out.
Excuse me a moment.
Let me tell you my story.
He did some cleaning supplies.
You got a bloody mess in here.
I just ate somebody.
You're always whining, Louie. They're just all passing it around.
Apparently, this film is Margot Robbie's favorite film of all time.
Yeah, I saw that. She
I like
played
her.
the theme when she got married.
Yeah, but she played the theme music going down the aisle. So
Interesting.
I like
wow.
her.
Okay. Nice.
And I think she said Brad Pitt in that movie was her favorite stoner too.
Hell yeah.
kind of
Like good shit.
understand me, motherfucker.
Isn't it funny how Samara Weaving is a Wish version Margot Robbie?
I don't know about that. What's her name? Oh shit.
Don't get me wrong, I love Samara Weaving.
What's her name from My Name Is Earl?
Presley.
Jamie Presley?
Yeah,
That's it.
Jamie Presley. Those two.
I kept wanting to say Amy
I
Smart.
have a thing for her. I don't know why.
She's almost
They kind of look like that too, yeah. Huh.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
God, I'm gonna be up all night now thinking about all this shit. You guys laid a lot on me tonight.
When we're done, I'm going to fucking bed. New comic books come out tomorrow. I got to get to the store. Oh, and I guess I work my job.
All right, before we go, it is time for our random clip of the week, which our generator plays a random clip from a random movie, and we see what happens. Let's see what happens this week.
It's been a while.
Oh, God.
This would be the scene. This would be the movie.
That's
I love
about
that movie.
That's about as close as we're going to get to a review of Blazing Saddles.
But yeah, I was going to say it's
Yep.
so funny that was the movie that the clip came from on this episode. 2 movies
no
that
shit.
like we're lucky we were able to talk about this one.
Yeah.
That shit's funny too that came up.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
next week, for the 100th episode, is the Mel Brooks classic Spaceballs.
hell yeah.
We have a lot planned for you. So
Oh,
make sure you
man.
subscribe to the
Well, I'm
channel.
excited.
All that
because
good stuff.
You're excited. Feel these nipples.
I'm excited about Spaceballs because I could give 2 fucks about Star Wars and other shit. Spaceballs is the only thing I give a fuck about. So
We're talking Spaceballs.
All right. Before we go, Nasty, what's going on in your life?
a lot, fucking a lot. Well, first
I
off,
believe you have a new book out, sir.
my new book, Going to Hell, Fresh Kills Volume 1 is out. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, a whole bunch of fucking places. It's the reception of it is quite nice. Of course, you can also get my other books of House of Flesh, Thirsty, and the anthology Sludge with Jason Nicky and Stuart Bray. I've been working on a lot of anthology stuff. I've been asked to be in to have stories in probably about
I'm terrible at that.
6 different anthologies, which as soon as we get off here, I have to finish one that was due this morning, but they're letting
Way
me
to go, you
slide.
procrastinating bitch.
No, it's just-
Slacker.
well, no, I've been
Headlines.
dealing with sickness and shit, so I've been kind of a little behind, but I've been busy, been grinding on short stories and stuff. I've got 4 novels that are about half done. Sludge 2 is possibly a thing. I don't know if I was actually supposed to say that yet, but not like anybody really cares on here, I guess.
Spoilers.
But
Insider info.
we got something special for that. And then Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. We've got our new album getting ready to come out. We just picked a cover for it that looks fucking wicked. And Josh has been doing the mixing and stuff for that, and it sounds really awesome. And so we're hoping to have that out here before too long as well. And then of course Graveyard Talk, Nasty Nation, which we've been kind of we've been working on some other stuff. Whitman's been doing the photography thing, hanging out with Jessa Flux, and
Is that where he's at? I thought he was still back there doing inventory.
he escaped.
Like a month ago.
He's
Oh,
he's on assignment.
When it came to a very attractive blonde with some thickness and some attitude came around. He had a dip for a little while, but yeah. So we've kind of put Graveyard Talk and Nasty Nation's kind of been off, but we're gonna start that shit back up here before too long. He's got his own show that he has episodes for that he was originally going to release somewhere else, but like we're gonna actually put it on our platform here before too long. So that's everything. I think I do way too much. I overwhelm myself constantly, but it's okay. I'd rather be doing so much than not enough.
nice.
And yeah, so
And if you want to check out all of Nasty's works as well as his band, Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, the links are in the description. We invite you to do that. And Uncle Ron,
Yes. That's
sir,
me.
you have some things going on as well.
Yes.
Tell the internet all about it.
Well, I stream on Twitch as much as I possibly can. I kind of have a foot wound right now, so the fact that I'm not on my couch doing this is a big thing. You guys should be appreciating that, motherfucker.
we are.
Yeah, and I have a comic coming out called For Sale, which is based on a short that I did, and we're looking to pitch it to a couple companies and see what we can do with. It's kind of like Twilight Zone, or if you've ever seen the show Nightmare Cafe. Anybody remember that show?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It's kind of similar to that.
Cool.
And I'm also working on a new collection of short stories, and you can get all my stuff on Amazon too, and everything. All roads stem out from I'mUncleRon.com, and there's a link to my stuff on Amazon and my musings that I come up with. Like when I say that Die Hard is no longer the best Christmas movie, and I give it to Violent Night, because Violent Night was fucking amazing. And I think David Harbour is my spirit animal. but it's neither here nor there. That's just because we're both large men with dad bods. But yeah, other than that, I really don't. We're waiting for issue 2 of Tales of Shock and Terror to get finished. And that's what's going on with For Sale. It's at the artists. They're doing their thing. So, but other than that, yeah, everything's at I'mUncleRon.com. You can follow me on Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever the fuck it's called. Threads. I'm on Blue Sky too. I don't know if you need a code for that still, but everything is I'm Uncle Ron. It's nice and branded.
Perfect. And the link for I'mUncleRon.com is also in the description. We invite you to check that out as well. Uncle Ron, thanks so much for stopping by the store.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Ron.
No problem.
Been a pleasure.
Come by anytime. This is what we do.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll bring those tapes back late and unrewound.
God damn it.
Oh, you want some heat? You're going to get some fucking heat.
Yes. Late and unrewound.
Cut your membership.
Oh, no.
Where's the scissors?
Because I can't find this on streaming.
There it goes.
Oh, well, I'll just go to the last block.
You can't rent here anymore.
Yeah, you're not allowed to rent here anymore.
I don't appreciate
Yeah.
your ruse. My what? Your cunning attempt to trick me. Yeah, it wasn't that
And
bad.
as always, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And all our social media handles are also in the description, as well as Laser Trading Company. We invite you to check that out as well. And once again, join us here next week, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. It will be our 100th episode special, in which we'll be going to the Spaceballs, the Mel Brooks classic. I can't wait for that. So we'll see you then. Once again, we are your video store clerks. We'll see you next Tuesday.